soon to be famous,
top of the heap.
soon to be famous.
My autograph's still cheap.
Soon to be famous.
You don't know me yet.
I'm an up and coming superstar that you haven't met.
Hi out there again, and welcome to Soon to Be Famous. I'm Dennis Stout.
And I'm Dave Allen.
We're Stout and Allen. That's right, and for those of you who've never seen our show before, Soon to Be Famous is a musical variety show that we try to bring you the best in the local entertainment. People that we know that have been struggling in the music industry for years and years and haven't made it to the top, but are soon to be famous.
That's right. There's a whole bunch of them out there, too, that actually we feel rival the best of the famous names in the industry. But right now we'd like to start off with a little tune that we'd like to dedicate to all you out there who work for a living. Certainly not us. But it's called Bony Fingers, or for you Latin majors, Bonus Phalanges. Rain's coming down and the roof won't hold her. Lost my job and I feel a little older. I won't start and the weather's getting colder.
Maybe things will get a little better in the morning. Maybe things will get a little better.
Well, the clothes need washing and the fire won't start. The kids are all crying and you're breaking my heart. The whole damn place is falling apart.
Maybe things will get a little better in the morning. Maybe things will get a little better. Work your fingers to the bones, and what do you get? Ooh, ooh, bony fingers, bony fingers. Woo.
Now I've been broke just as long as I remember. I get a little money and I gotta go spend her. And when I try and save it, my old lady come and take it.
Maybe things will get a little better in the morning. Maybe things will get a little better. Work your fingers to the bones, and what do you get? Ooh, ooh, bony fingers, bony fingers.
Take it now. Grass won't grow 'cause the sun's too hot and the whole damn world is going to pot. May as well like it 'cause it's all that we got.
Maybe things will get a little better in the morning. Maybe things will get a little better. Now the rain's coming down and the roof won't hold her. Lost my job and I feel a little older. Car won't start and the weather's getting colder. Maybe things will get a little better in the morning. Maybe things will get a little better. Work your fingers to the bones, and what do you get? Ooh, ooh, bony fingers, bony fingers, bony fingers, bony fingers.
Okay. We'd like to do another song by John Penn. Now, I know we've mentioned his name quite a few times in our series here, and he's one of our favorite writers, and he's written some very nice folk songs of the local area here in Orange County. He used to live up in Idlewild, and he grew up in the San Jacinto Mountains, and this is one of his folk songs about the San Jacinto Mountains. It's called The Legend of San Jacinto. It goes like this.
It's a wild, hard life and it's lonely in the mountains of San Jacinto, where the wildcat walks along in the moonlight. On the hillside he's always alone. Well, the folks in the valley, they'll tell you
of a couple that lived long ago, of a lovely young woman named Alicia and a logger named Andrew Shargo. 5 years he worked in the mountains, bringing the logs down the sill. Down narrow, steep trails he would travel, with many a grand story to tell. Well, he'd talk of the dangers they lived with, of the snakes and bad weather and snow. Talk of his old foe, the wildcat, who he'd watch for wherever he'd go. 'Cause it's a wild, hard life and it's lonely in the mountains of San Jacinto, where the wildcat walks along in the moonlight. On the hillside he's always alone. Well, his young wife would stay by the cabin, while Andrew would chop down the pine. Though she had yet bore him no children, there was a babe due in just 4 months' time. And they'd talk of the plans for the future and the rich mountain land there they owned. They'd hold hands and walk in the moonlight and make love while the coyotes moan. Then one day he fell from the treetops to the rocks that were waiting below. She hurried the log horse down the mountain for the love of her Andrew Shargo. But the wildcat, he came from the trail side, and the log horse lost footing and fell. Alicia was dead at the sunset. There's not much more story to tell, except it's a wild, hard life and it's lonely in the mountains of San Jacinto. An old man stands crippled in the moonlight, that crazy old hermit Shargo.
The high school that Dennis and I attended had many different kind of little subcults, factions, I guess you'd say. There was the surfer faction, and there was the sports faction, you know, all the jocks. And there was one other faction that was kind of interesting. It was the car club. And these guys had the hottest cars in all of Orange, or so they thought anyway. And they'd get out on Saturday, you know, morning, out on Bond Avenue on the edge of town, and you know, see who had the fastest car that week. Do a little off the road, or actually on the road racing. Anyway, so the guy at our school was Bill Hallman. He had the hottest Impala around, and so we'd like to dedicate this next tune. It was written by, I think, Tex Ritter, old Tex Ritter tune. It's called Hot Rod Lincoln. It goes out to Bill Hallman, wherever he is.
But Daddy said, son, you're going to drive me to drinking if you don't stop driving that Hot Rod Lincoln. Have you heard the story about the hot rod race where the Fords and Lincolns were setting the pace? Sad story, it's true, I'm here to say. I was driving that Model A. Got a Lincoln motor, it's really souped up. That Model A body makes it look real tough. Got 8 cylinders, uses them all. Got overdrive, just won't stall. Pulled out of San Pedro late one night. The moon and the stars, they were shining bright. We was driving down old Grapevine Hill, just passing cars like they was standing still. But all of a sudden, in the wink of an eye, the Cadillac sedan passes by and said, "Look out, boys, it's Hallman and me." By then, the taillights is all you could see. Well, the boys was ribbing me for being behind, so I thought I'd let that Lincoln unwind. Took my foot off the gas, and man alive, I shoved it on down into overdrive. I wound it up to about 110. My speedometer said I'd hit top 10. My foot was glued like lead to the floor. That's all there is, there ain't no more. Well, the boys all thought I'd lost my sense. Them phone poles looked like a picket fence. They said, "Slow down," and I see spots. Lines on the road just look like dots. I turned the corner, side swiped the truck cross. My fingers just for luck. My fingers was bumping on the guardrail post. The guy beside me was white as a ghost. Well, smoke was coming from out of the back when I started gaining on that Cadillac. I knew it'd get catching. I started to pass, and wouldn't you just know it'd be low on gas. Flames was coming from out of the side. Feel the tension, man. What a ride. I said, "Look out, boys, I got a license to fly." That caddy pulled over and let me by. All of a sudden it started knocking down and the dipset started rocking. I looked in the mirror, red light was blinking. Them cops was after my hot rod Lincoln. They arrested me, put me in jail, called my daddy to pay my bill, and he said, "Boy, you're gonna drive me to drinking if you don't stop driving that hot rod Lincoln."
Okay, here we are for the interview portion of our program, and I'm here with Rare Blend, who you heard a little bit earlier. Why don't we start off by directing a question to John. With me that they're one of the finer duos around. They're entitled Rare Blend.
All right, thanks, Dee. This first song is called Nebraska Farmlands, and was written in the back seat of a pink Lincoln Continental on Highway 80 heading east for the Mississippi River. It's cost a lot to get this far. Most of my life I've been alone. On a Sunday ride through Nebraska farmlands, a mellow high set this darn guitar hand, picking a beat for a brand new catchy tune. I was thinking back on another time when I was yours and you were mine, and most of the songs I wrote were songs for you. Now how fond old memories, like soft young shoulders beg to be squeezed. I make tunes on my knee, sing of loving that could only be for you. On a road bound for the great Midwest, we're out of beer and in need of rest. I'm someone else's point of view. My here and now seems slightly shaken as I find myself awakened from yet another dream of having you. Still how fond old memories, like soft young shoulders beg to be squeezed. I make tunes on my knee, sing of loving that could only be for you. is all that I could stand. Still I follow memories like soft on shoulders begging to be squeezed by me. I pick tunes on my knee, sing of loving that could only be for you. Well, hear me now, my heart is calling for a love I fear is falling from the heights of pleasure we once knew. My love is open for the living, all my strength is well given. If I could make you see the man that I call me, still wanting to be in love with you. This next song was written by a fellow in the Laguna Beach area named Kenny Crows. The tune is called Rivers, Stars, and Trains. 1, 2, 3. No games of chance will ever tie me down. I'd do most anything but hang around. I've got no time to murmur or complain, for I keep track of rivers, stars, and trains. No words from hell will ever turn me round or take away the love that I have found. No one will share my laughter or my pain, for I keep track of rivers, stars, and trains. Well, I love my friends and I love them well, but I leave them all behind when I hear that station bell. Let your hands fall free from my reins, for I keep track of rivers, stars, and trains. No one romance will ever tie me down. I'd do most anything but hang around. Your keeping track of me will bring you pain, for I keep track of rivers, stars, and trains. Well, I love my friends and I love them well, but I leave them all behind when I hear that station bell. Let your hands fall free from my reins, for I keep track of rivers, stars, and trains. For I keep track of rivers, stars, and trains.
Okay, we're here for the interview portion of our program, soon to be famous. Our guests for this week are Kim Saunders and John Bankston. Got it right. John Bankston, together they make up Rare Blend, who you just heard. We'll be hearing another tune of theirs in a little while. Right now, let's get a little background on these two. I understand you've been playing together for about 3 years now, is that correct?
That's right. We've been playing together 3 years. We met up in the Bay Area in Santa Cruz area. We performed up there together for about a year and a half before moving to the Central Coast. And we performed there for about a year.
That's at San Luis Obispo County.
Yeah, having a lot of fun there. We came down and played in Orange County where we met Stout and Allen for about 6 months this last year. And we just went back up to the Central Coast, our home base, and we're playing there at a club called Joshua's in Paso Robles. And full time right now.
One of my favorite places.
It's excellent.
Well, these two sound like you've been getting around quite a bit then. What, I was in listening to your songs, I noticed you have a rather unique blend of different styles. What is your background in music? What's yours?
Well, she's much more trained in the school of music than I am. Self-taught and country boy, you know. So I grew up listening to all styles of music, from rock and roll to jazz and folk and gospel. So we have fused all those ideas into our music and try to make the best of what we can. But like I say, we're self-taught almost.
You have that smooth quality to your voice. So you have had some vocal training?
No, I haven't had any vocal training.
I taught her all she knows.
Yes, I've improved quite a bit.
She was horrible 3 years ago.
I was a soloist before I met John.
Oh, really?
I was a soloist for a couple of years before I met him, and I've just been working on my vocals by myself. But I did have some piano and some guitar lessons when I was a youngster, and
Now she's only 17.
I had a little bit of college theory, music theory, and things like that. But basically, I've just been working on music as a sideline for a few years, and then I started playing professionally about 5 years ago.
I see. So your background in music, like, would you say was just middle of the road, or did you kind of cut your eye teeth on the country western side of it?
No, I was more into folk music, folk rock, Jackson Brown, Bonnie Raitt, that kind of thing at first. And when I met John, it really excited me that he was playing original music, because I was playing as a soloist mostly other people's songs, top 40, things like that. And John was playing original music, and I just loved it. And so we started working together, and it's really fun.
Okay, well, we're going to wrap it up real quick here. Just one more point. You're going to do a tune entitled what?
Captain Haley. And the hook is, "Oh, Captain Haley, toss me a line, my ship's gone down at sea." It's a song about port towns and the fishermen and the bartenders and cocktail girls all the way from San Diego up to Vancouver, British Columbia.
Are you ready to do that?
We're ready to do that.
All right. I give you Rare Blend.
There's a little bar I know we can drink the whiskey and gin, and the man comes up to tell you that you don't run this show. And it's not so much that he's pushing, it's just a wanting you to know that the boat's gonna do it daily, with crews of every hue and every guest of Captain Haley. So relax and enjoy the view. about a smuggling scam for sure. His meaty fingers slowly drumming on a glass of beer, a victim of the cure. Oh, Captain Haley, toss me a line, my ship's gone down at sea. And dancing real in the captain's chair, and the man's been drinking salty dog since the sun goes up today. And it's not so much that he's thirsty, and just to keeps the fog away, 'cause the boats come through here daily, the crews of every hue, and they're the guests of Captain Haley. So relax and enjoy the view. Oh, Captain Haley, toss me a line, my ship's gone down at sea. Oh, Captain Haley, ship's gone down at sea. Captain Haley, toss me a line, my ship's gone down. Toss me a line, my ship's gone down. Toss me a line, my ship's gone down at sea. Yeah.
Okay, that about wraps it up for us. We'd like to thank everybody out in our studio audience for tuning in. We hope you enjoyed the show. We sure did. I really appreciate Red Ben coming down. We'd like to extend a special thanks to them, and hope to see you next week on Soon to Be Famous. Well, I've been working nightclubs now for close to 15 years. I've played them all, both big and small, working for tips and beers. Well, I finally think I've paid my dues, and I guess it's safe to say that one of these days soon we'll be doing things our way, 'cause we're soon to be famous, top of the heap. Soon to be famous,
My autograph's still cheap.
soon to be famous. You don't know me yet. I'm an up and coming superstar.